Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an ICE agent shoots another person in Minnesota. We have what federal officials say happened overnight amid ongoing tensions in the Twin Cities. And is Greenland off the table? We have that discussion, plus what President Trump says about escalating tensions with Iran.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. I'm Caroline Mueller here with you on this Thursday, January 15th, and the time is now 6 a.m. Let's go ahead and hand it over to meteorologist Megan Dusmel for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I am already missing those warmer temperatures we were seeing not that long ago. Now there's snow on the ground.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to having to go outside after work because I just know it's going to be cold all day long. And that's pretty much the forecast, cut and dry, with some icy road conditions on the side. So here's a look right now as we're heading towards Jenkins. You can tell there's definitely some slick spots on the road this morning, and take my warning, I did slip a little bit when I was walking on the road, so you might as well. So take it slow, take it easy as you head throughout the next couple hours. And we're also still watching snow falling right now as we're heading towards portions of Perry County, Knott County, Knox County, Letcher, Harlan. Looks like a little bit of Pike and Magoffin and Floyd as well. So keep that in mind as we're going through the next several hours, as well as those temperatures. Oh, wrong graphic right there. But all in all, it's really cold this morning. We've been seeing some upper teens, low 20s, and by the time we head into the afternoon, we're only making it to the upper 20s, low 30s. So it's going to be cold all day long, Caroline.
Megan, sounds good. Thanks. In Adair County, a man was charged with murder after a shooting resulted in the death of his son. State police say a 56-year-old Philip Hadley was arrested after they responded to a shooting on Kentucky 55 South Tuesday. They say they found Jordan Hadley, Philip's son, had suffered from a gunshot wound. Jordan was pronounced dead after being taken to a local hospital. Investigators say the situation stemmed from the two being involved in a heated conversation. A second shooting in Minneapolis at the hands of an ICE agent has set off fresh clashes between protesters and federal officers there. U.S. officials tell CBS News that a Venezuelan migrant is expected to be okay after an agent shot him in the leg. Officials say the shooting happened after the agent was attacked by men with shovels during an immigration operation. That agent is also reported to be okay.
Go home. We cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos.
They can protest all they want. We're just going to double down and enforce the law.
With the city now on edge, last night Minnesota's Democratic Governor Tim Walz urged President Trump to pull back the federal immigration surge. More than half of Americans, 56%, think an ICE officer's fatal shooting of Renee Good was an inappropriate use of force. That's according to a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. Slightly fewer people believe the shooting reflects broader issues with how ICE is operating. About 51% of respondents say ICE is making cities less safe. About 2/3 of Republicans take the opposite view. They are also more likely to consider Good's death an appropriate use of force. President Trump says Iran's planned executions are now on pause as protests continue there. Meanwhile, a longtime U.S. ally is pushing back on the administration's desire to acquire Greenland. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
Iranian airspace closed for hours amid tensions with the U.S. over Tehran's bloody crackdown on anti-government protests. President Trump earlier said he'd learned Iran's planned executions were now off the table.
They've said the killing has stopped and the executions won't take place.
Medical officials contacted by CBS News inside Tehran believe the protester death toll stands at least 12,000. Meanwhile, in Washington, a focus on the north. Denmark's foreign minister pushed back on President Trump's desire to acquire Greenland.
We made it very, very clear that this is not in the interest of the kingdom.
The meeting with the vice president and secretary of state, as President Trump has insisted the U.S. needs Greenland for national security, a place to potentially position a Golden Dome missile defense system to take out Russian ballistic missiles fired at the U.S.
If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it.
lawmakers skeptical.
The idea that we have to own the country in order to protect our national security is just nonsense.
Also on Capitol Hill,
the point of order is sustained.
Vice President J.D. Vance, the tie-breaking vote, blocking a move to limit President Trump's ability to further strike Venezuela.
When the Republicans rubber stamp everything he does, the constraints go away.
Lawmakers say Secretary of State Marco Rubio has promised to seek congressional approval in advance of any major operations in Venezuela. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The Trump administration announced Wednesday it will stop giving out visas to people from 75 countries whose migrants take welfare from the American people at unacceptable rates. The pause is set to take effect on January 21st, according to officials. A state representative from Louisville hopes his bill to raise Kentucky's minimum wage makes the final cut. Representative Daniel Grossberg says with the cost of living going up, he thinks it's worth trying again. Right now, Kentucky's minimum wage is the same as federal minimum wage, $7.25 an hour. It hasn't been raised since 2009. If the bill Grossberg filed passes, the minimum wage would go up to $9.50 an hour immediately.
I believe in the free market, but the free market relies upon the belief that everyone's in the same negotiating position. And there are some people who can't say no to a job. And if we don't set a minimum standard, I just don't think that they're going to make enough money.
If the bill passes, the minimum wage would go up to $11 the next year, then up to $15 by the year 2030. Measures to raise the minimum wage have been filed in both the House and the Senate. Two bills that impact nearly everyone who drives or uses a cell phone advanced in a state legislative committee yesterday. One bill is called the Phone Down Kentucky Act to ban holding a cell phone while driving. The other could make it easier to get your driver's license renewed. WYMT's Phil Pendleton tells us more about the two bills from Frankfort.
The Senate Transportation quickly and easily advanced two key pieces of legislation, one being a priority bill for the session, Senate Bill 7 and Senate Bills 28. Senate Bill 7 is considered priority legislation in the Senate. It has multiple co-sponsors. It would simply allow one of four county offices, the circuit or county clerk, the sheriff or judge executive, to have a space for people to renew their driver's licenses for a $25 fee. It's not mandated and only optional for local officials to participate.
This bill strengthens rural access, reduces travel burdens on families, improves customer service statewide, and restores accountability to local officials who already serve their communities with excellence.
Lawmakers also advanced Senate Bill 28 Wednesday. It would ban handheld phone use while driving. It's called the Phone Down Kentucky Act and is sponsored by Senator Jimmy Higdon. Drivers could still use Bluetooth or other hands-free devices to make calls. Police would have to see you holding the phone and could cite you $100 for violations.
Hopefully we'll get people's attention that this is a problem in Kentucky and across the country. And we want our roads safe.
Both bills passed unanimously and will now go on to the full Senate floor. It's not clear when those next votes will be taken. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The driver's license bill would go into effect in July of next year. The Phone Down Kentucky Act would take effect in July of this year, but officers would not start issuing citations until November. Kentucky could soon make child grooming a felony. The bill defines grooming as building a connection with a child with the goal of facilitating sexual conduct in person or online. Those accused of grooming could face felony charges. The bill exempts legitimate communication with minors. That includes teachers, doctors, police, and age-appropriate talks about sexuality.
And you're going to want to bundle up this morning. We are talking well below freezing temperatures and a mixture of the teens and 20s. And with those fast wind speeds, feels like temperatures for many folks are in the single digits. So again, bundle up, hats, gloves, scarves, whatever you can do. It is a cold start to your day, and it's going to stay cold all day long with no relief from the afternoon high temperatures, which will still be below freezing for most folks across eastern Kentucky. Now, another thing that we're keeping our eyes out on for is some snow chances this morning. Some scattered snow chances will continue throughout the next couple of hours, but by the afternoon, we're going to look a lot calmer and a lot clearer. So that's what we're watching this morning, Caroline.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, a 95-year-old veteran gets to read letters he wrote during the Korean War for the first time.